that's against it. But I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll get to it. Just you can go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. You can go ahead and finish building. It's just.
Good day, my peoples. Good day, my peoples. Grand rising, my peoples. Grand rising, my peoples. Real short. All right. I want to jump right into it. So, wow. That's crazy. So, this right here is the reason. I'm going to tell y'all this. Let me give you my disclaimer up front. This video right here, some of y'all are not going to like this video. This video is not for everybody. But I just got to be honest. I just got to be straight up honest. Okay? See, I'm sitting back. The more and more I sit back and I observe things, the more I sit back and observe stuff, man, I'm trying to tell you. I mean, things just start popping up, okay? And only thing you got to do is just sit back and watch, right? So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sitting back and I'm watching, I'm observing, okay? Another demon popped up yesterday, y'all. I ain't about to get into that story, but this right here is a church-going demon. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, and very close. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember a couple days ago, I did a video and I told y'all there's going to be some demons that's going to pop up. Somebody going to pop up somewhere and they're going to do something. They're going to say something to try to trigger me. And it, maybe revolt back to my son. It didn't go back to my son on the other person's end. It didn't do that. But what I'm saying is this very person was a religious person. They go to church and everything, right? See, and that right there is what brought me to this video. Is because that person that provoked me yesterday, that person that provoked me is a church-going person. And that church-going person always invite somebody to their church, right? Well, guess what? That church-going person, just like that person have issues, is other people that's in that church organization or in that religious organization, shall I say. I'm just not going to just point it out to the church, because it's not just the church. Trust me. There's some in the Jehovah's Witnesses sector too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not just going to point it out just for the church, but I'm going to let you know, mainly for the ones, for me. The majority of the people that I know that talk this stuff, they go to church, right? But guess what? Don't none of them go by none of the stuff that the Bible reads. They try to read off some of these scriptures and all this stuff to you, like they know the word of God and all this other stuff, and they don't even abide by this stuff, y'all. They don't abide by it. They don't abide by none of these words. I can point out some examples. I can point out plenty of them. Okay, well, I can give you an example right now. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, right? But when COVID came up here, the very ones that was told that they was protected by God and that no weapon formed against them shall prosper, guess what happened? They wouldn't put on masks. They didn't have enough belief in the very God that they told you about to protect them from something that was formed against them, okay? I was the one walking in that truth because I didn't have on a mask. I was the one that was believing that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And I was actually exercising that by not going along with this mask mandate thing, okay? That's one. Two, they will say that somewhere in there that it's supposed to be, well, I ain't gonna say in the Bible. It's not in the Bible. But just get what I'm saying. Adam and Eve. Not Adam and Steve, right? So that right there kind of trajectory was not allowed in the church at some point in time. You had to be quiet about that. You couldn't bring that type of stuff in the church. Oh, no. At one point in time, you used to have to go to church. You put on your Sunday's best. You used to be respectful. Church used to be a respectful place to go. Okay, every Sunday, especially if you had grandparents, if you went with your parents, something like that. It was the same thing when it came down to the Kingdom Hall and all this other stuff, man. Listen, them right there were respectful places, okay, of worship. At some point in time, in my lifetime, those were respected places of worship. When Sunday came around, I don't care what happened throughout the course of the week, you put on your Sunday's best and you went to church. Or you went to serve whatever God that you were serving, and then when y'all got home, y'all changed your clothes, or y'all went out to eat or something. You see what I'm saying? It was a lot more respect. You knew when you looked at your parent from them pews, if you was cutting up, you knew what type of heat you was gonna be up under, okay? Back when church was what it was supposed to be. People came to church and they was dressed appropriately, okay? It wasn't no fashion show. For sure, it wasn't no fashion show, okay? People came to church respectfully. But you know what? They switched the whole game up. So they said, come as you are, you know? And when they said, come as you are, people went and took that literally. Because remember, like I said, you used to have to put on your Sunday's best. You know what I'm saying? And what happened was people started using that as an excuse as to the reason why they wasn't coming to church. Oh, why you ain't coming to church? Oh, I ain't had nothing to wear. So they start eliminating that excuse because that was big. What your appearance was big. Okay? Now you ain't got nothing to wear to church, so you stop going. So they say, hey, come as you are. And people in the church really started to take that literally. Come as you are. So guess what? You coming in, you're not appropriately dressed, male or female. I've seen them coming in with the skinny jeans and sagging in church. You couldn't cuss in church. The way I was taught, or we was just kids talking, it was a curse for you to cuss in church. Okay? That was one place that you wasn't even supposed to use profanity in, okay? Then now so you got people in the church that's using profanity in the church. You got people that's in the church that's Steve and Steve, not Adam and Eve, but Steve and Steve, that's welcome just inside the church. Your preference, hey, I don't have anything against that. But I'm just talking about the practices of religion and what's accepted. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why when I start talking spirit, I'm talking about the inner being of you. I'm talking about the inner being of you. I'm not talking about no church stuff. Because, see, the church is almost similar to a hospital now. See, the hospital is sick, okay? The hospitals are sick. That's where all the sick people go when they need healing, okay? And for the ones that aren't physically sick, for healing, they decide that they want to get more and more religious, thinking that getting more and more religious will help them out the traumas that they done created in their past life or in this lifetime that they haven't went made amends for. So you try to get more religious and more religious and more religious, thinking that everything that you did was just going to just disappear because God is going to give you relief. Because you came to him and repented for something that you did to Rob. Something you did to Lisa. You ain't go to them and repent to them for what you did to them. You went to God and thought that right there was going to be your way out. So you went to a spiritual hospital. So when you look at all these people that's gathered in this one area, okay? And every last one of them that's in that church, they need something. From this one entity, every last one of them needs something. They need spiritual healing, for sure, but they need something. And they getting this right here stuff. They getting this stuff from themselves because they don't deal with the stuff within themselves. You see what I'm saying? So all that right there is inside that church. All of it is inside that church and these religious organizations, okay? They'll tell you one thing out the book that they listen from, but then go out there and do a totally opposite thing. The way that they speak, their mannerism, their character, the way everything about them is totally opposite of the stuff that they preach out that book. But then I'm supposed to come in and listen to the whole story wholly and not question nothing, not lean upon my own understanding. So we the only beings that's not supposed to lean upon our own understanding. Like I said, this video people are not going to like. See, I'm going to tell you something. When my son was here, my son never liked church. My son didn't like nothing about Junior, did not like nothing about church. And it wasn't nothing that I said. It wasn't nothing that I did. He was too young for that. He was too young to understand that. Junior never liked church. He never liked going in there. He didn't like the music. He didn't like the way the people was acting in there when he went inside to, you know what I'm saying? It was just a place where he did not even like. We would pull up, you know, somebody might invite us to a church, session or something like that. And we say, okay, we'll come. We pull up and you can hear the church music blasting outside the church. And Junior would go, uh-oh, see, there go that music. And we would laugh, you know, thinking that it was funny, you know, but I knew what he was talking about. But he didn't like that right there. So it was something in his spirit that didn't like that. The only difference was I didn't force him to like it. Like we were forced to like it, or forced to at least participate in it. Because if you was a kid coming up and it's time to go to church, you didn't have a say so. You had to go. It wasn't up for discussion. It wasn't up for debate. Okay? You're going and that's it. Okay? I didn't force that amongst my children. Okay? Now, the reason why I'm saying this right here is because I'm now realizing after what I went through yesterday with somebody that was more closer to me, you know, biologically, but after going through that with that person yesterday, and that person is spiritual person and stuff, that helped me realize that, wait a minute, going to those religious organizations is like going to a spiritual hospital. All of them are spiritually sick. Because that's why they go there, for spiritual healing. And when I say spiritually sick, I don't mean dumb, okay? When I say spiritually sick, if you need spiritual healing, you got to be healed from what? Some type of spiritual sickness. Okay? Again, like I said, I might not get too many likes for this video right here. You might not like this one right here too much. For real. But this right here is the reason why I didn't like religion and all that other stuff. When I found spirit, I found it in myself. This right here is why I couldn't find the spirit that I was looking for over all these years, 20, 25, 30 years. I could never find that spirit that I found now. Unfortunately, it took my son to leave for me to find it. I found this spirit that I speak on a lot of. I found it too late. And that's the reason that when I speak on spirit, I speak on spirit. Not spiritual or spiritual, none of that. No, I speak on spirit, just you. That voice that's coming out of you, that's you. That's your word. You know what I'm saying? That's your word. I am the word. I am who I say I am. You hear my words. I mean, simple. But it's confusing when you go in there and you get bibble babbled around all these different verses to fit a narrative that the person that's telling you wants you to understand. You see what I'm saying? They got certain stuff inside that book that fits the narrative of the person that want you to believe it. They know how to, you know, it's like they boxed in already. You already boxed in. Okay? They know, okay, go to this verse. Okay, what do that say? Okay, now skip the rest of that. Now go to this verse right here. Okay, now skip the rest of that. Now go to this book right here. Okay, skip the rest of that. When all those people that was in the Bible, they was just people like me and you, and they was just documenting the stuff that they had been through, right? According to what they say. Yeah. So, even with those people right there, if you sit back long enough and you watch those people and you pay attention to their character, these religious people that go into church and all this other stuff, pay attention to their character. You'll see if they genuine or not. You will know just by the way they speak, and they might not even be on nothing, like they just speaking in general. They might say something just passive, and you will look at that right there, that whatever they said that was so passive. You know what I'm saying? It says something about the way that they spirit operates. You see what I'm saying? And so if you in tune with your spirit, then you can spot that in other people's spirit without saying a word. Without saying a word. And the people that have those nasty spirits like that, they tend to get more religious. The nastier they spirit get, the more religious they get. They never want to answer nothing on what they did. Instead, they'll try to do something outrageous on this end, on this realm, and then turn to spiritual for forgiveness. Meantime, between time, not addressing the issue at hand that triggered whatever it is that you're going through. You went to another entity to apologize. Just imagine me doing something to you, and then I go to your parent and apologize for something that I should come to you and apologize about. See what I'm saying? And then think that I'm vindicated in whatever the situation was because I apologized to somebody on the outside of you versus the person that I really had this issue with. That's what we dealing with, okay? And all these people show up at these entities. And this right here is the reason why when I tell y'all, when I speak on spirit, I'm not talking about nothing religious. I'm not talking about that. Now, if you could take out some of the stuff that I say, because it's coming straight from me. It just ain't coming out no book that I done read, okay? So if you could take some of the stuff that I say and say, yeah, you sound just like the book. Okay, well then that's what you can do. Okay, but I'm telling you what's coming from me. And I'm going to let you know that church right there, man, that's not the place for me. It ain't that's just for me. This is all about me and the reason why I don't do it. You are free and welcome to do whatever you want to do. I'm not saying that you don't have to do it because some people need to be there. That's why they are there. Some people need to be there. Church have changed some people from some really bad people. Church have did that. It's not all bad. I was just speaking on the reasons why I didn't too much go to church and mess around with the church and religion. That's the reason why I didn't. Now, on the good end, church have changed some people. It have. Church have pulled some of these people away from their addictions, drug addictions. The church have allowed some of those people in that needed to start somewhere. You see what I'm saying? They needed to start somewhere. They wanted to get their life together. So the church offered these people a way in. Some of them took advantage of it. Some of them did take advantage of it. And maybe that right there was probably the parts that some people were seeing. The people that's coming in trying to get their life together, it looked rough in the beginning. And if that's the part that you're seeing, then you could probably be sounding like me when you come down to church. I do understand that. I'm not just going to take everything away from the church because the church has, did some good things too. The church will... Y'all say stuff about these churches not feeding people, but I be seeing cars wrapped around these blocks. Okay, I be seeing cars wrapped around these blocks at these churches getting these free food boxes, okay? Don't say that the church don't feed you, because they will. They will. Now, I've seen that right there. I can honestly say that. See, I'm a fair person. I call it fair on both ends. I call out the good and the bad, I try to be as level and as even as possible when I'm, doing this right here, okay? So to the credit of the church, yes, they have, they got some people that they have turned around. Absolutely. It's just that over time, man, it just started to disintegrate. Something happened over time that wasn't corrected. You know what I'm saying? See, church changed from those days where anime was in church and, they in there singing and she going singing above the choir, and the lady come in and say, hey, you show the church a little bit more respect. Anna Mae said, okay. They went back into the song. Jesus, you know my Jesus told me. And guess what? Anna Mae went back and she, went back into her own thing again. That lady that was doing the choir sent Anna Mae right out that church. Anna Mae went home walking, singing the same song. She got put out of church. She was dressed properly. She wasn't singing bad. She just wasn't singing with the crowd. See what I'm saying? And the lady tried to check that and put that in place. It wasn't that you were sounding bad. You was just standing out over everybody else. And we're not trying to do that. And you're not cooperating. Okay, it's time for you to go. See, church ain't like that today. Church ain't like that today. You can do anything you want to do. You can say whatever you want to say. You could be whoever you want to be. You can identify with whatever you want to identify on the outside of what the word told you to identify as or be. And then push that off on somebody else. And you aren't even being it. And that's the reason why I don't come in here thumping Bible verses at y'all. I'm not coming in here thumping Bible verses at y'all. I tell y'all what comes straight from me. What comes straight from me. So when you hear this, it's coming from me. It ain't coming from no Bible verses and none of this other stuff, okay? But with that being said, I'm going to get up off of here because I got to go. I told y'all I ain't want to make this thing right here that long. But this right here is the reason why I didn't do the church thing, y'all. I'm just being honest. It's the reason why I couldn't do it. All right? So, hey, Uncle Ronnie over at YouTube. Hey, Uncle Ronnie, go over there and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hey, Uncle Ronnie, you get more content, cut up content. You get more content like this. They only allow 30 days over here. Yeah, go over there and log on to my Hey, Uncle Ronnie page on YouTube. Okay. And that's where you're going to find some of my older videos as well, because the videos I do here, they about to be gone. Facebook only doing 30 days and they getting rid of them. Okay, so go over there if y'all want to see the other content. Hey, Uncle Ronnie. It's 3 words. Okay, y'all have a good day, and I will talk to y'all later.